This is the latest version of Saucony's very popular trail running shoe, the Peregrine 15. Now, to say that I had a lot of history running in this model of trail running shoe would probably be a bit of an understatement, because since having the channel, I ran a lot of miles in the Peregrine 10, which actually turned out to be one of my favorite trail running shoes of all time. I also spent a lot of time in the Peregrine 11. Was a little bit heavier this time round. I enjoyed running in it, but I personally don't think it was good as that brilliant Peregrine 10. And then we went on to the Peregrine 12. It was a little bit too light this time round, a bit too stripped back for me, and I felt that it had lost a bit of its underfoot protection and comfort. But I didn't have to wait long, because we got another update to the Peregrine 13 came along. Not the most sensible of colourways for a trail running shoe here in the UK. White shoes never go down that well with me, and it's looking pretty grubby now, but they definitely ran better than the 12s for me, and they were feeling a lot more like the brilliant Peregrine 10s. And then you've guessed it, we got the Peregrine 14s, a much more sensible colour option this time round, but to be honest, they ran pretty much the same as the previous version, and there wasn't a lot of difference. Yep, that brings us all the way round to a full circle and back to the current version, the Peregrine 15. So let's give you a few facts and figures. We're also going to break down the construction of these new trail running shoes, and then we're going to be taking them out for their first run. How is everyone doing out there in YouTube world? I hope you are all fit and well, and you've got some epic running adventures coming up. I'm Lloyd Purvis, and this is Run4Adventure. So just before we dive into the shoe review, I wanted to let you know that myself and Liga are going to be heading up to the National Running Show this year at the NEC in Birmingham, and we're going to be appearing in the Harrier Trail Running Zone on the Saturday at 11 AM. We had such a great time going up last year, so it's so cool to be going back. And we're going to be talking all about the amazing adventures that we had last year, including the time we spent out in the beautiful mountains of Chamonix, getting Liga ready for the CCC at UTMB, and then more recently, when we headed out to the Middle East to take on the incredible Ultra X Jordan in the stunning Wadi Rum desert. So I'll leave all the links and all the information about the show in the description below, and hopefully we'll see you guys there. Okay, let's get back to the shoes in question, and it is the latest Peregrine 15 from Saucony. It has gone through a big update this time round, and it's pretty much a brand new shoe from the ground up. So we've got this new upper design, we've also got a upgraded PWRRUN midsole, and we've got a reformulated PWRTRAC rubber outsole. And before I get stuck into the construction, let's just give you a few facts and figures about this latest trail running shoe from the brand. And I really had to dig deep to get these facts and figures, because the information about this shoe on the Saucony website is severely lacking. So no heel offset, no stack height of that midsole, and no lug depth on there. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous when you're going onto a website to buy a pair of running shoes. So Saucony, you definitely need to up your game when it comes to shoe information on your website. So the 15s retail for £130 here in the UK, which I actually think is pretty reasonable, especially when you take a look at the crazy running shoe market at the moment. My pair in a UK 9.5 weigh in at 291 grams, so slightly lighter than the previous version. And when I say slightly, I mean slightly, because they are actually 3 grams lighter than the Peregrine 14, but that is still a bit of weight saving. And when it comes to stack height, we've got 28mm at the heel, 24mm under the forefoot, giving the 15s a heel to toe offset of 4mm. I've got mine in this rather fetching orange and navy colorway, but there is 2 other color options for men's and 3 different colorways for women's. Breaking down the construction, and we're going to start at the top first, and Saucony have gone for this high strength engineered mesh upper, and that's there to offer the runner good levels of breathability, a nice secure and supported fit, and high levels of durability. And we've pretty much got overlay protection all the way around the shoe, starting at the heel, working down along the midfoot and wrapping around that toe box. I'd say the gusseted tongue comes with a moderate level of padding, as does the ankle collar and the heel cup, and we've got a good level of support from a substantial heel cradle. As far as the laces go, Saucony have worked in their lace locking system just to make sure you feel nice and secure in that upper when you're pushing the pace on the trails. We've got a little gaiter attachment worked into the bottom of the laces, and I'm happy to say that the new Peregrine comes with a proper toe bumper, so that's going to offer you good levels of protection up front when you're running on technical trails. Moving down to the midsole, and Saucony claim that they've updated this PWRRUN midsole, and it's now going to feel a bit softer. It's going to soak up a bit more impact while still offering us good underfoot protection, and we're going to be testing out all those claims on today's run. And then if I reach inside and pull out the insole, yep, we still get a pair of Saucony's brilliant PWRRUN Plus footbeds, and they're going to offer a nice level of plushness underfoot. And last but not least, the all-important outsole. And again, this has had an update, and we've now got this reformulated PWRTRAC rubber outsole with a 5mm lug depth. This has been designed to offer you a superior level of grip, traction and durability, and I'm sure there's some of you guys sitting at home that are glad to hear that, because over the last few years I did get quite a few comments from people saying that they really struggle for grip when running in their Peregrines on wet rocky trails. Now, I never really experienced that running in mine down here in Cornwall, but if you did have grip issues, hopefully this new reformulated rubber is going to change that. And there you have it, the all new Peregrine 15, and we're actually a little bit late to the Peregrine party this year, so it took us a while to get our hands on a pair. Finally, we've got hold of them, and there's been quite a few of you guys asking for us to review this shoe, so I'm not going to keep you any longer. I'm going to pop off, get my running kit on, I'm going to grab the GoPros, and then I'm going to be lacing these bad boys up and taking them out for their first run. So we'll see you lot out on the trails. Okay, so we've made it out to the location. If you've been following the channel for a while, you'll probably know where we are, but if you're new to the channel, then we're in a place called Tahiti Woods in Cornwall. I come here a lot. It is a brilliant testing ground for new trail shoes because there's so many different types of terrain. You've got compact trails, you've got some tarmac, you've got gravelly loose stuff, we've got slippery tree roots, and this time of year, lots and lots of mud. So definitely going to be a good test for the new Peregrine. So far so good as far as the shoe is concerned. We've had no technical trails, it's all been pretty compacted stuff up to now, but that new upgraded PWRRUN foam midsole feels nice and comfortable underfoot. I really do like how they put those PWRRUN Plus footbeds in. It really does offer an extra level of plushness, and I think the shoe is offering a bit more cushioning than the previous version. But what I also like is that midsole is super flexible at the midfoot and at the forefoot, so feeling pretty good straight out of the box. You might also notice that I've got a hydration vest from Saucony. So I've actually been testing this out for just over a month now, and I've run in some of their previous hydration packs, and I've got to be honest, they haven't performed very well, but this is a big step up for sure. And again, if you follow the channel, you'll know my sort of go-to race vest has been the Salomon Advanced Skin 12 set for a number of years now, and nothing's really come close to that, but really impressed with this so far. We're 3 miles in. We're going to try and get 7 or 8 miles in today in the Peregrine, so we better crack on. Love this bit of trail. Super technical, lots of tree roots, lots of mud to deal with. You really have to keep focused and keep concentrating. Okay, 6 miles down, and you can see from some of the footage there, it has been a proper bog fest in the woods today. So wet and so muddy, so it's been a great test for the Peregrine's outsole. Gotta say, it has performed well. So you can have the best lug pattern on a trail shoe in the world, but if it doesn't clear that mud, then it's pretty pointless. And this outsole with those 5mm lugs give me great levels of traction in all the mud, but it's clearing that mud super quickly. So that traction is maintained throughout the run. And as far as the reformulated rubber goes, grips felt good. So on the greasy, slippery tarmac and on any sort of rocky or stony trails, I felt really confident underfoot. But let's finish this run off and then we'll get back to the studio and we'll wrap up with a quick conclusion. Right, so the legs felt strong, my breathing was good, and the new Peregrines performed well. So I actually ended up running 8.71 miles by the time I got back to the adventure bus, and I think that's a pretty good distance in a new shoe. And we had perfect underfoot conditions in the woods today for the test. So you can probably see I've given the shoe a quick brush off, but they're still pretty muddy, but never mind. And the first thing I want to talk about is fit. So I would say the new Peregrine is true to size. So this UK 9.5 gave me just the right length in the toe, and I would say they've got average width in the toe box. The Peregrine model has always seemed to work well for my foot shape. That is, apart from the Peregrine 12s, where I did have to pull those laces down super tight to feel locked into that upper. Happy to say that's not the case with the new 15. So felt super secure at the midfoot throughout the run because of that gusseted tongue design and because of the form fit technology that Saucony have worked in. But best of all, the shoes stayed locked down for the entire run. So no having to stop and retie the laces or adjust the laces, which I do sometimes find quite annoying in trail running shoes. Didn't happen today. Just the right level of padding around the ankle collar and in the heel for me, so that offered a good level of comfort. And all in all, this new mesh upper design just felt nice and airy, so no rubbing, no irritation or anything like that. So just a comfortable pair of shoes to run in. Midsole cushioning and protection was good, and obviously I had a lot of muddy, rooty trails to run in the woods today, but I also had a fair bit of compacted trails and tarmac to deal with. And this new updated PWRRUN foam in the midsole gave me a nice comfortable ride on the hard stuff. I also think I forgot to mention that we still get a flexible rock plate from Saucony worked into that forefoot, so got a good level of underfoot protection on the rockier or more stony trails that I ran today. I also really enjoyed the level of flex I got from the midfoot and from the forefoot, and it makes the Peregrine 15 feel nice and nimble and nice and responsive, especially when you pick up the technical stuff. And I would say if you really got on with the Peregrine 10s like I did, then you'll probably enjoy running in these as well, because they do feel very similar. And because of the level of comfort I got from the midsole and the upper out on today's run, I'd be more than happy to take the Peregrine 15 up to 50 miles, maybe 100k. I think I would want a little bit more depth of cushioning in that midsole if I was taking on, say, a 100-miler. We definitely gave the new outsole design a thorough testing out there today, especially when it comes down to traction. And this 5mm lug pan performed really well on all those muddy trails, and I felt nice and confident underfoot at all times, and I didn't have any sort of slippage or loss of traction over the 8.7 miles. I didn't have a massive amount of super wet rocky trail to run in the woods, but on all the greasy tarmac and the small sections of wet rocky trails that I did run, this new reformulated PWRTRAC rubber felt nice and sticky. But like I mentioned earlier, I've never really had any grip issues when it comes to the Peregrine. So all in all, I think it's been a good update this time round, and it's actually been a long time since I've run in a pair of Saucony Peregrines, and I really enjoyed the fit, feel and performance I got out in the woods today. I also think for £130 retail price here in the UK, that's pretty reasonable for such a versatile trail running shoe that can literally be run all year round on a big mix of different types of terrain. Obviously, these are just my initial thoughts after today's first run, but get in the comments, let me know if you'd like me to bring you along on a longer run test in the new Peregrines in the near future. If you have any questions at all about the new update or about running in general, please feel free to get them in the comments below, and I'll try and get back to them as quickly as possible. I've also got to say a big shout out to Saucony for sending us out a pair of the new Peregrines to test and review on the channel. Really is a big help and greatly appreciated. And speaking of help, if you are enjoying the content here and you'd like to support us a bit more, then you can do so through our Patreon page for as little as £2 a month. Not only is it a massive help now we've gone full time with the channel, but it also opens up a world of Run4Adventure perks, including a discount code for our merch store, exclusive Patreon content, and a Patreon window sticker for you to display with pride. So if you are interested in doing that, I'll leave links to our Patreon page in the description. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. It's really appreciated. And as always, stay safe and keep on running. No having to stop and retie the laces or anything like that. That is, apart from the 12s. It didn't really lock down that well. I had to pull those laces down super tight. Super tight. I had to pull those laces down super tight to get a good lockdown around my midfoot. Just making words up now, Lloyd, are we?